Welcome back. So continuing with the ratios, right? The way to understand ratio is, let us take again the fruits example, where we say the number of apples, the ratio of number of apples to number of oranges in a fruit basket, right, is equal to 4 is to 1, right, is equal to 4 is to 1, which in turn means that the number of apples, right, is equal to 4 times the number of oranges, right. This is another thing that we can infer out of it, right. When we say 4 is to 1, right, or 4 by 1, 4 is to 1, what it means is the number of oranges is 4 times, sorry, number of apples is 4 times the number of oranges. So to summarize, to wind up on the ratios, the ratio of any, right, any number to another number is nothing but the first number divided by the second number, and you can simplify it. So you can simplify until you can no more simplify that fraction. So that is what ratio is all about. All right. Now we have to understand about one more concept, that is called percentage. Okay, so in the previous video I kept on talking about stocks rose by 10%, there was a dip in the stock by 15%, etc. So what you mean by percentage, right? What is the meaning of percentage? Okay, so percent is nothing but per, right, per, per, cent, cent. Okay, you separate these two things. Per is nothing but we can say, we will always say per kg, per hour, etc., right? So what does it mean? For 1 hour, for 1 kg, this is what per kg means. Okay, so when you say per cent, cent means 100, right? So if there is some value, what is that value when you convert it to 100, right? Or in other words, if there are 5 boys in a class of 20 students, so in a class there are 20 students. So for when the class has 20 students, you have 5 boys. So percent, what would be the number of boys? Or in other words, if the class had 100 students, what would be the number of boys? So when we say for 20 students you have 5 boys, which means if there would have been 1 boy in that class, one student in the class, 5 by 20 boys will be there. If there are 100 students in that class, you will have 5 by 20 into 100, which is nothing but 25. Okay, so this is nothing but the unitary method that I am following. Okay, so if you have, for in a class of 20 students, there are 5 boys, what is the percentage? Which means if there would have been 100 students, assuming the ratio stays the same, I mean the first class for 20 you have 5, right, that stays the same. If there would have been 100 students, then what would be the number of boys? This is what percentage means. So when you have 20 students, you had 5 boys, and if it would have been 100 students, you would have had 25 boys, which in other words, the percentage of boys to the total number of students in the class is nothing but 25%, right? We will take one more example. All right, the number of male teachers, right, the number of male teachers in a school is equal to 20. All right, number of male teachers in a school is equal to 20. Number of female teachers is equal to 30. So what is the percentage of male teachers in the school? What is the percentage of female teachers in the school? Right? So what is the percentage of male teachers in the school? Let us understand this first. So we have 20 male teachers. What is the total number of teachers? You have 50, right? 30 plus 20, 50. So out of 50 teachers, 20 teachers are male teachers. So if instead of 50, if this would have been 100, right? Because we have to find a percentage, right? Percent, right? So instead of 50, let us assume there would have been 100 teachers. Then how many male teachers you would have had? Where if instead of 50, if it would have been 100, then you would have had 40 male teachers, because 100 is nothing but twice of 50, isn't it? So here also you will double it. So if there would have been 100 teachers, you would have had 40 male teachers, right? So if it would have been 100 teachers, you would have had 60 female teachers, right? So the percentage of male teachers to the total, right, percentage of male teachers to the total number of teachers in the school is nothing but 40%, right? So another way of finding the percentage of female teachers is nothing but, see, you know that the total teachers constitute 100%, right? So the male teachers percentage is 40, all right? So the remaining female teachers has to be 100 minus 40, which is 60%, right? So this is another way of understanding percentages. So if you are given a number, right, let us say number of teachers, number of balls, right, number of apples in a fruit basket, and if you are given the total number of teachers, right, the total number of balls in a basket, right, total number of fruits, then if you have to find the percentage, all you have to do is you have to make the denominator into 100. Okay, let us assume somebody has traveled 55 kilometers. All right, somebody has traveled 55 kilometers. There, he stopped at a stop, right? So the first stop where he stopped was 22 kilometers from the starting point, right? Then what is the percentage of distance he had covered until the first stop, right? I will repeat the question. A person is traveling 55 kilometers. The first stop where he stopped, let us say for some refreshment, is 22 kilometers from the starting point. So what is the percentage of distance, right, from the starting point to the first stop as compared to the total distance that he has covered? Okay, so the the distance up to first stop is 22. The total distance covered is 55. Okay, so for 55 kilometer, the first stop was at 22. So for 1 kilometer, it is 22 divided by 55, isn't it? Right? So if he were to cover 100 kilometer, what would be the value? 22 divided by 55 into 100. This works out around 40%, right? So this is another way of understanding about percentages and calculating percentages. Okay, so you remember about these ratios and percentages very well in your mind. If you have doubts about ratios and percentages, please go over the video, and you can always write to us seeking any doubt, right? If you have any doubt, you can write to us, right? Our email ID is askmentorguru@gmail.com. ASKMENTOR mentor guru GURU @gmail.com. Please write to us. We will respond back. See, our focus is to help you. Sometimes there are certain videos when we are explaining, we might think it is very clear, but if you are not able to understand, you need to get back to us, and we will do whatever is possible from our side to help you understand these concepts. Okay, Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button so that you get the notification. And please share it with your friends, because we are working on a noble cause. So we basically wanted to provide a step-by-step coaching to students. We want students to benefit out of our videos. We want students to excel in their lessons after going through our videos, and if they need any additional help, they can always seek help from us. All right, so we are working on a certain noble mission, and we need your support to make this noble mission a success. Right, so thank you very much. We will meet in our next video, and we will talk about discounts, marked up percentages, etc. There are certain concepts, right, which we will talk about. All right, okay, thank you.